At my graduation dinner, my mom said, "We wish you were never born." And the words hit harder than any failure or criticism I had ever faced, echoing in the room like a judgment I could not ignore, leaving me frozen for a moment, caught between shock, hurt, and the instinctive desire to defend myself, because nothing could have prepared me for such cruelty on a night that was supposed to celebrate years of hard work, sacrifice, and achievement. And I realized that my next move would define not only my evening but the boundaries I was willing to set in my own life. The table fell silent, as if everyone present felt the weight of her words, but I refused to react with anger or tears immediately, because I had learned that dramatic outbursts often empower those who try to diminish you, and I wanted my response to carry clarity, strength, and intention, rather than give her the satisfaction of seeing me crumble. Instead, I calmly looked around the room, my gaze steady, and said nothing at first, letting the silence emphasize the absurdity and pain of her remark. Then I excused myself from the table, walked to my car, and took a moment to breathe, reflect, and decide how I wanted to respond to someone whose words revealed not my worth, but her inability to recognize it. That night, I made a choice that shocked everyone. Instead of begging for approval, explaining myself, or engaging in arguments, I announced the next morning that I was moving out permanently, securing my own apartment, my own life, and my own path, refusing to remain in an environment where celebration was met with rejection, love with contempt, and achievement with resentment. Because true independence is sometimes born from heartbreak, and growth often begins when you step away from the toxicity that tries to define you. Friends, extended family, and even distant relatives were stunned, unable to understand why I would leave the family home immediately after such an accomplishment, but the decision was neither impulsive nor reckless. It was deliberate, calculated, and necessary for my emotional and personal development, because I understood that no accolade, degree, or success could fully flourish under constant dismissal, belittlement, or emotional harm from the people meant to celebrate it with you. Over the following weeks, I focused on myself, my career, my education, and building relationships with those who encouraged and supported me rather than tearing me down. And in doing so, I discovered the freedom, confidence, and sense of self-worth that had always been stifled by a home environment dominated by negativity and judgment. Realizing that the most unexpected victories often emerge from the courage to reject toxicity, set boundaries, and prioritize one's own dignity over the approval of those who fail to value it. Eventually, news of my move and the independence I cultivated reached my mother, and her attempts to reach me were met with polite but firm boundaries, because I had learned that love cannot be forced, respect cannot be demanded, and self-respect must always come first. And that night of celebration had become a turning point, a catalyst for personal transformation that no cruel remark could erase, proving that the unexpected choice, to leave, to step into autonomy, and to claim control over one's own life, can redefine everything, turning humiliation into empowerment, pain into growth, and rejection into the foundation for a life built on self-worth, resilience, and the unwavering knowledge that your value is determined not by the cruelty of others, but by the strength, courage, and clarity with which you choose to live, step by step, in the face of adversity, shaping a future that honors your achievements, your dignity, and your right to celebrate every milestone without fear, judgment, or disparagement from those who fail to see your true worth.